can I please request Mr. Amit Kumar, Senior Solutions Architect at AWS. He will be sharing his insights on how AWS stands out from the other cloud service providers. Sir, please.
Great. Good evening, everyone. Can I have attentions? Hey, good evening. Did you know that AWS has more than 200 plus fully featured services available today for customers? And only security itself has 32 plus services, full-fledged services, 32 plus out of all 200 services that we do in extra space. That's an amazing? Great, thanks. Hi, I'm Amit Kumar, Senior Solution Architect at AWS. I'm a part of our Partner Success Solutions Architecture team and responsible for the partners and customer solutions, and I build for them for their own solutions or probably a partner-based solutions. Today we are going to take you on an exciting journey where we are going to cover a lot of good things about how you can elevate your security with AWS Cloud. So we have been discussed so many things in the security, but let me tell you the real, how you can utilize from an AWS console and then have your services up and running with the security. Great, let me start it. So there are a few challenges that we have usually at on-premises area where we have lack of visibility about about your systems and about your access, who is accessing it, who is not accessing it, who has the services access, who don't have the services access. So there is a problem at the core that we don't have the full visibility about our workloads. One fine day when I had a discussion with one of my customers, he was just saying, Amit, I'm okay with migrate to the cloud. I want to migrate to the cloud, but the challenge is that I don't know which application to talking to which applications. I cannot decide my waves. I cannot decide, should I keep it on-prem? Should I move it to cloud? And what if my cloud system are talking to my on-prem system? So there is a real challenge of the lack of visibility that you have at on-prem. And that exactly happens on the security space as well. So what happens if you don't know what is going on, then how you can secure it? If you don't know your house, who is accessing your house, and then how you can secure it? So the similar way, there is a real problem of the lack of visibility. And there is another problem comes in, low degree of automations. And then I'll tell you the real situations that when, the CISO is talking to the customer that I was talking to, and he's saying, no, we can't move to the cloud because there are so many things, X, Y, Z, these are the reasons we cannot move into the cloud, and that slows the overall migration process. So we feel at this point of time that, security is actually slowing down to the human speed, but it should be, actually. When these two things, lack of visibility and low degree of automations, bind together, combinations, actually give lot of problems to the organizations to move into the fast-paced world that we are doing today. So before the cloud, the problem was you want to move fast, but you also want to, or you can stay secure. And it was an R word in between. Either you can move fast or you can stay secure. So if the organizations want to stay secure, they cannot move fast. So that was the challenge. Or if they want to move fast, they are less secured, I would say. But with the cloud, you can move fast and stay secure. And let me tell you how you would be able to do it. And these are some banks, like we were discussing, that the real problem, and Colonel Sir was discussing that the lot of banks has issues with the securities, and those are the most secure platform they should be, because they are actually having a lot of, the human money that is being involved in those kind of a bank. So HSBC, Teva, GoDaddy, and let me tell you, AWS is a most secure platform at the back that we have. We built lot of services at the back. And I was telling in panel discussions also, AWS is designed in such a way that we have built the security at the back at every single place. And we continuously monitor 24/7 that what is happening in the security side, and we have the teams who has been designed such a way that they make sure that they follow the mechanism for the security at the core. So, you can, let me tell you one more example that at the encryption side, we have the mechanisms. Unfortunately, I cannot share very deep details with you, but we have the mechanism even if when we discard any hardware from our data centers. So security is not something where we do it as a reactive. It is a proactive thing that we do at the back. And a lot of customers, you can see on the screen, gave us some kind of an anecdote that how they feel about the AWS cloud when they feeling about the security. The infrastructure and services that can elevate your security, and we need to look at some kind of on a 5-pillar. So one is the global security and compliance controls. You definitely wants to have, whatever your organizations, whether you are a healthcare or you are a financial organizations, you are a fintech, or you are any enterprise customers who is doing a lot of government projects. So you have to inherit those global security policies at the back so that you would be able to be compliant in the cloud as well. And then visibility and control. That was the real problem at the on-premises which cloud is solving today. How? Because you have an inbuilt tool which can talk to any services today. For example, like CloudWatch. Anybody use CloudWatch? Any? Here you go. CloudWatch, just 3 guys? Okay, so CloudWatch is something which can attach to your services and then can give you the graphical format kind of a user interface where you can see what is happening. You can set an alarm, you can set a threshold, and then exactly see what happens in my cloud. Even with this security as well, let me take an example. If you decide that this is my security of my cloud, and this is my posture, this is my healthy green posture of my cloud, then how you would be able to make sure that this remains same? Whatever the conditions are, there are so many things that admins can do today. If the admin got a root access, he can do here and there a lot of things. But how you as a business owner make sure that nothing goes wrong even somebody wants to change something. And that's where we call cloud security posture management. So if you set up those security control policy, we called it SCP with control tower. If you decided that, this should be my security of the cloud, has to be look like, and you set it and you lock it, then it will automatically remediate the issues that it can have it. For example, like today, admin has set up something which is not as per your policy, security policy, then automatically the API calls can happen through some automated tools and then revert back that situations back to your green state. So this is kind of an automations that you should feel that you should have in your hand so that, every single wheel of your cloud journey is going to be spin automatically without worrying about your data is getting leaked or your data is getting breached. The highest security standards is definitely, it should be part of your journey, which with the AWS, you can have it with those services. Like I said, automation, that can reduce your risk. And of course, the largest ecosystem of the partner and solutions that we are carrying today. I'll show you one more slide over there, including the secure cloud that we have a very highest and the largest ecosystems that we have where the partners build the solutions around the security so that you can stitch those partner solutions to your cloud. Now, these are some, compliance standards that AWS is having already. Some are for you familiar, the CSA, ISO, FISMA, DISA. There are so many, certificates that we have, around 300 plus certifications that we today hold as a cloud provider. Like in the shared responsive model, we are discussing security of the cloud is something certified by these certifications already, and we are also doing rigorously testing and third-party, the auditing happens almost continuous basis to our, security of the cloud. However, we don't leave the things that security in the cloud is your responsibility. That doesn't work like that. The security in the cloud is also, we do help with the customers along with the partners that how you would be able to build those security in the cloud. So security in the cloud is again, it's something which is a customer responsibility, but as a solution architect, I'm just saying that we will not leave you there. We will help you to make sure that you are also secure in the cloud along with the partner ecosystem that they are offering those tools. Now, we have the visibility and control. That how we can leverage that. There was a problem in the visibility and control earlier. Now how you would be able to leverage that. You can reduce the risk via security automations and continuous monitoring. And then if you are already having some SIM solutions or there are any other solutions which is already part of your ecosystem, then you can have AWS integrated with that solution. I'm working with a lot of enterprise customers who, who wants to stick still their existing ecosystem. They like their dashboards, they like their alerts, they like their everything. They say, Amit, I want to stick with my dashboards, but can you help me with the same thing with the AWS cloud? So now I have a single pane where they can have the security details of their on-premises cloud, and then second that, then they also have the same thing about the AWS cloud. So though you would be able to integrate both the things together in the same console, and then you would also having the same fine-grained identity and access control in AWS as well. Now, I've got a sign that I have to quickly wrap it up, so I'll cover a few things. I think these are the highest standards I have already talked about. Now, I'll tell you this slide. I'll spend at least, I would say 30, 40 seconds here. Very importantly, these are the 32 services that we support today. And these 32 services having more than hundreds of features at the back. I'll just take an example, AWS IAM Identity Center, that everybody likes single sign-on. How you would be able to extend your on-premises Active Directory or on-premises authentication system to the AWS console as well. Then you can integrate with the IAM Identity Center and then take your username and passwords, which you are already using it on-prem, to the AWS console. One fine example, I have my address, I have my username, I have my password, that's my corporate username and password. How I can give the same thing to my admin, that admin would be able to log in with their Active Directory credentials or an authentication credentials to the AWS console as well. So that I have a fine-grained, I don't need to create multiple users, multiple places, multiple cloud, multiple users. So you can extend your Active Directory or any authentication system to the identity center as well. Another example is the key management systems, like data at rest. Data in transit is really important. And when we are talking about the cloud, we always recommend that you should feel that you should have your data to be encrypted all the time at least. So data at rest, you can use the AWS KMS. We provide that KMS systems automatically to you, or you can also onboard your own keys with the cloud HSMs that we have. Certificate manager, VPN, server-side encryptions. There are so many services that you can leverage upon today, that at least in the security space and identity and compliance standards. Anybody know that if you need today that I want to have an ISO 27000 certification about my AWS cloud, would you be able to do it, or you should call AWS guy and then can you provide me that? Anybody knows about it? Yes, great. I think kudos goes to you. Then you can automatically have from your console about AWS artifacts. You can just go ahead and download any certifications which your auditor needs to make sure that your own cloud, your overall cloud is secure. There are some large community and security partner solutions that we have. There are a tremendous amount of partners. There is a whole marketplace is filled with these security solutions that we have. So if I have to say in a nutshell, so this is a shared responsibility model that we already talked about. But one thing I just want to mention here, which is the one key takeaway from this overall conversation, is that the security shouldn't be just a definitions about your situations, about your data. It's irrespective to it's in data center or it is in the cloud. Security should be real practical things. And you should make sure that security should be implemented in a way so that you will be able to secure each and everything, whether it's an on-premises or it's in cloud of AWS. Now, with that note, let me say thank you. Thank you for having me here. And these are my credentials. Please, contact me whenever you want. And then if you have any specific questions, then I can, raise your hand and I can take that. Yes. Yep. So I think that's a great question that you have. If you know about those 32 services and you know how to use those 32 services, then yes. So you should know about it. But then let me take a very, on a serious note. It's not about the number of services that we have. It's about the use cases that you have so that we can pick that use cases, map to a particular services, build a solutions around it, and you would be able to get secure around that. So for an example, if you want to secure your website traffic which is coming from internet to your AWS cloud, we have multiple services like AWS WAF, the firewall managers. There are a couple of 3-4 services. We will sit with you, identify what kind of connections are going to be coming, which region your connection are going to be coming, what kind of a connections that is actually going to your web server, and what response your web server is generating. Based on that, we can decide, okay, WAF is going to be, because we can say the geofencing over there, if the request is coming from XYZ, then it will be blocked, and if its request is coming from India, then it will get through. So I'm just taking one fine example, but it can be many examples. But to a short answer to your question is that if you know right use cases, exactly know what is your use cases, I can sit with you and identify and map one of those 32 services to you. Yeah, that's correct. I'm sorry? Can we? SLA? What do you mean by that? Yeah. Absolutely. You can, so on a service level agreement, we can share the SLA of our service availability with you. But on top of that, whatever you build it's something which requires a resilience kind of an architecture. So solution architect like me can sit with you and understand what kind of an SLA you are expecting about this whole ecosystem or whole solutions, and then we can sit with you and decide your solution in such a way so that it will serve those SLA which is your expectation. I'll take an example. If this is a web server which requires 11 nines or 12 nines or what kind of nines that you are expecting from it, by default EC2 provides 99.99 service availability. If you need more SLA into that particular services, we can set up that particular EC2 instance into a multiple availability zone, put a load balancer there, put a WAF over there. On top of that, you can actually, if WAF provide 99.999 and then your 2 availability zone provide 99.9999, and then you would be able to meet your SLA. So in a short answer, the service SLA we provide an overall solution, we will help you to build those SLA. Yeah, I think I get an alert from her saying that we should continue. Yeah. That's correct. Absolutely. So exactly. So like I said, the cloud security posture management is something which you can build it internally on top of AWS with either it's a help of partner, or if you have these skills and that you would also be able to build it, then you can have a security posture. And then on top of that, whenever the things are getting changed, it will go for an approval, your CISO approval or something, whether it's under the policy or no. If it requires a remediation, it will automatically remediate. So things are getting changed. Changes are always has to be approval stage. So if the changes are happening and it's approved, then it will apply. If the changes are there and it's not approved, it will deny it. Automatically, yeah, we can do it through multiple ways. The system manager is there. There are so many other services there. Lambda functions, you can execute it so that it will automatically get applied based on the tags that you put it. We can have a multiple conversation. I think that's a great conversation I had, and I love that. And thank you so much for having me, and have a great evening. Thank you.